Alright, so now we are blended. We are turning. Take a look at where the light hits, where the highlights are, where the contours are. And also take a look at the blending. Do you see where anything starts and stops? Not even underneath my chin. That is the biggest place of demarcation. You do not want lines underneath your chin. Now I'm going to do what I like to call a wet set. Before I powder my foundation, I add a setting spray and I use my beauty blender to just press that in to my concealers and foundations while it's still wet to add a extra oomph of locking it in. Now I'm going to go ahead and do a dry set with a translucent powder. Basically, I'm just going to put this powder all over my face. I am loading my brush with powder, tapping it off to get off the initial excess. Then I'm going to tap it into the brush and tap more off. So now my brush is full and loaded, and I'm just going to tap that all over my face just like it was a sponge or a beauty blender and mattify my entire face this way. Now with this pressed powder, I'm going to use it to tone my face, bring some of that color back, and to further set the outer edges of my face where it's just a little bit darker than the center where my highlight is. Also, I'm going back and reinforcing my under eye, so with just a tad bit more powder, I'm just pressing that in under my eyes. Just like with my cheeks, I am going in and I'm feeling out the contours of my eyes. I'm pressing my brush underneath that orbital bone to understand where my crease is exactly. Now with the cream eyeshadow, I am applying that right up into my crease, and I'm just going to blend that out. Next, I'm taking this brown shade that's close to my skin tone with a flat, fluffy brush, and I'm placing that right into my crease. That color is going to soften and blend out that cream eyeshadow as well as define that crease just enough to give me a contour on my eye. Now I'm going in with a darker brown, and I am going to deepen just the outer corner of my eye. With a black eyeliner pencil, I am wiggling that in between my lashes, right on my lash line, to create some depth. I'm not focusing on getting a perfect line because it will just be smudged out later. To smudge that line, I am using a brush that's a little flat and fluffy, and I'm just pressing that onto the eyeliner, not to move it too much. I just want to blur that line. I don't want to blend it across my eyelid. So I'm pressing it, get rid of any harsh lines of demarcation, and keeping it where I need it to be. Now doing the same on the bottom outer half of my eye. I'm not going to take this all the way in to the inner corner to keep a bright and open look. With a Q-tip, I'm going to do some light cleaning. I don't want to blend that down too far, and a generous, healthy coating of mascara. I'm mapping out my eyebrows first so I know how far out and how high. I know where everything should go. Just like where my contour should go, my face tells me where my eyebrows should go. And so you see they're just a little short, and so I'm going to take my pencil starting from the bottom, hair-like strokes, and I'm just going to lightly fill that in until it reaches the length that it was supposed to reach. You see, the key with eyebrow pencils is pressure. The harder you press down on that pencil, the more color payoff you're gonna get. The lighter pressure, the softer the color. So as I move towards the beginning of my brow, I start barely touching my skin. Going in with the brow gel will darken the actual hairs of my brows and also hold them in place. So this gives me definition without looking too fake. Now with the finishing touches of bronzer and blush, I am with an angled brush just lightly fluffing that bronzer over everywhere that I put my contour. Now I'm applying blush right in that area that I defined earlier, and not too high, not too low. I don't want it to sink into my contours or impede with my highlight. Perfect blush placement works just like your contour. It adds shape and color to my face. Now, just a little dusting of highlighter on top. Now, one more time with this beauty blender, I'm going to go underneath my eyes, kind of sweep away any extra product, blend out any creases that may have formed if they formed, and we're going to final set. One last heaping dose of setting spray. Make sure I'm nice and wet and blend that in so I can make sure that I have full coverage. On the lips, I'm keeping it simple. I'm using a brown pencil. I'm pretty sure it's an eyebrow pencil. I feel like eyebrow pencils give me the best browns. And just filling in and lining my lips. And then I'm going to top it with the NYX gloss and call it a day. Yes. And this is the look. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I enjoyed creating this tutorial for you guys, and I hope I was able to teach you something new.